I almost thought you weren't going to make it. Uh-oh, is this camera working? And we can start over with your numbers. Keep seeing the little squares going. Oh. And they work. But he doesn't have a headset on. It's okay. We will sit here and talk to ourselves and our beautiful Hawaiian backdrop. How's everyone tonight? Hopefully everyone's good. Today was a pretty good day for me. Didn't really have to go to work today, so just got to kind of hang out with the pups. One of the pups has an ear infection. So, you know, been trying to give her her meds. She hates it, of course. But, yeah, just gotta do what you gotta do to keep these puppy dogs healthy. Basically, the ear infection's gone from like one ear to the other, back and forth. One of my other dog, actually, Batty, wants to do the whole like motherly thing and just keeps, you know, licking her because she knows something's wrong, but she's passing it pretty much from ear to ear. So she's had it in one ear now twice, one ear once, the other ear once. And now it's a little bit in both ears, but we're going to do what we can to try to get rid of all of it. Keep seeing his like little square light up. You know, I do find it a little weird though that when he actually jumps in here, that even though he's on this side right now with you know, with picture and everything else, that it like swaps him around. So then I've got to be like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird to me for some reason. Although everything actually is on the same side today. Normally it's reversed somewhere. That is kind of nice. Here, he's not live. Is he doing his intro? Have I been able to hear myself talk in his stream this whole time? Oh, thank God he has it muted. Alright guys, well, the next 3.5 minutes is just us. Not even in here yet. I don't think anyone's actually here yet. This might be a good thing for Darren that no one's in here yet. Yeah, screw it, I'm playing that song again because it's really freaking catchy. Gonna mute my mic for a second because I gotta test some stuff. test, test, test. Oops, didn't do that.
Oh, I'm gonna kick this off a little bit early. Mic check, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Sorry about that. Got done with some dinner.
Well, now we have music going. Because your thing said 3 minutes, and so I'm like, you know what? I know something's about 3 minutes long. Alright, I'll skip to the good part.
I have your shit.
There it is.
I have your shit up. Mute.
It's fine. It was that last slide at the very end.
Oh.
So yeah, how do you like my Island Paradise?
I'm not sure what to make of it,
Why? What's wrong with it?
but you're not on a green screen.
No, I'm actually not. Like there's no screen behind me at all. like
Uh,
that's actually the really cool thing about this whole ray tracing, the RTX on the graphics card,
mm-hmm.
is that it actually like legitimately is not a screen behind me.
It's
just my graphics card.
You out. That's cool.
Yeah, so I can do this.
I need to get something like that going. I just time.
This is the normal thing because it makes it feel a little more, homey.
Right.
And I don't want people staring at my kitchen, of course, because I don't actually have like a good studio to do the stuff in, like, Mr. Horn over here. So I just, blur things out a little bit.
What the fuck you talking about good studio? It's like, yes, you can see my TV that I hardly ever use, my Amiibos that I'm waiting for Breath of the Wild 2 to use, and then I can sell them. And then over here you have all of my guitars, only 2 of which I actually use in the bass.
Right,
and then my men's little warehouse suit.
Yeah, and you got your like little power supply up on top with a router above it, and you got your filing cabinet with your little Air Force mug above it.
Actually, that's not a power supply up there. So I have 2 power supplies in this room. One in that cabinet.
Okay.
That cabinet basically powers everything here.
Mm-hmm.
And then another PlayStation, TV, and entertainment center on the other side of that wall. Then I have another power supply right here specifically for my computer. I do need to hook up one of my monitors to it in the event of a power outage because we ran into that a little while ago and I couldn't see anything.
So what is that gigantic black box then up there?
That is one of 2 external drives. So we have 2 network drives.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'll fuck around.
Apparently. So how are you today? What happened?
When I actually get a house, I'm gonna wire the fuck out of it. It's gonna be like 4 ports in every room, bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a nice rack mount system with a 48 port switch. Like the one printer I'll need networked, so that way I can print from anywhere. Yeah, I don't.
You gonna need any fiber done or what?
Maybe. I don't know, like to what extent I'll need, but when I buy a house, then I'll know.
Oh, all right. Well,
I don't know if that could be like phrased any better, but
Well, just know that you know a guy that knows a
Yeah.
thing or two about fiber.
I know a fiber guy. I know a electrician. I know a plumber.
So
I'm
what you're saying is you're building the house from like the ground up. You're not actually buying a house. You're gonna buy a
actually do know.
dirt of
I do
land.
know someone that could actually lay the foundation too and do it from scratch.
Well, foundations aren't
Um,
that hard to do. You just like have a bunch of toddlers just run on top of it, stamping it down some to get compaction, and then throw some wood up, throw a little bit of concrete in, build.
uh, no, today. So I had my stream. Got pretty irritated with Call of Duty, so I switched over to Castlevania for a little bit. Then after that, we were contemplating dinner, and I'm like, I want steak again. So I made the steak sandwich again, but I also did baby potatoes and asparagus just to like substitute having a sandwich.
So wait, is it
So
was it the same steak as like our like second podcast steak?
pretty much, but I actually used the right steak this time and the right bread.
Okay,
And
so
it does make a difference. You got to use filet for a steak sandwich.
but that's why you know that's why you're a little late instead of leaving 3 hours early for it.
Well, yeah, because I actually started around 3:45, and it's a lot of prep. When it comes to cooking, it's just a lot of prep work.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual cooking of shit really doesn't take that long.
So what you should do is you should be like, all right, Rumi, if you want some help, if you want some food here, you got to do your fair share, and just have Joe do like the chopping for you.
Oh no, we kind of have like a unspoken rule here where it's like whoever cooks doesn't have to clean up. So
See, I thought that was an
everybody else cleans
unspoken
up.
rule everywhere. But if I'm feeding you and there's a bunch of people, you might want to still help out a little bit with like the choppy chops or the dicey dice.
That's we don't like we don't really give a fuck about that. It's like whoever cooks it doesn't start to finish and they don't have to clean up. But I
Oh.
also have the OCD complex where it's like everything must be clean. It must.
So you end up
So if
cleaning
I
anyway.
like it's a pet peeve of mine, and like of the very few things I took from my dad, one of them is if I see dishes in the left hand sink, I will scrub them the fuck out and put them in the right hand sink or the dishwasher, whichever is applicable.
Yeah,
So
so
if I see it must be done.
yeah, Mrs. kind of she does that a lot. Basically, if it's in the sink, it's just in the sink. And when I go to actually do the hand washing, I'm like, no, can you please like only leave like you just put things in like one side of the sink so I can scrub them into the other sink and then put it into the dishwasher. So the way that it works for us is basically I pile everything into the right sink and then slowly take it into the left thing so that I can like scrub it, get the shit off, garbage disposal, and then the dishwasher's to the left also because it's like this little conveyor belt of things. And then once
kind of this.
good. Oh, all right, we lost him. That's one for the night. But anyway, what I was about to say to everyone else is then if it's the hand washing stuff, I actually start with all the stuff in the garbage disposal thing. That's kind of a cute face though, Darren. You go from there, and then after you've like gotten all of like the crap off of it and stuff, then you kind of like rinse it, and then I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Yeah, Discord just fucking hates you. I don't know what it is. Like, what did you do to Discord?
Oh, I think it actually.
You think it actually?
Oh, you heard me. I think it actually just did an update.
Ooh,
That was weird because as soon as it came back up, it said, "What's new?" and listing all the things that are new, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe that wasn't a crash."
ooh. Well, it was, but it was the good kind of crash. Unlike the crashes in Call of Duty that just are always horrible.
Oh yeah, and I had no audio this time on my end, but that's okay. But anyway, yeah. So like, my OCD is dirty dishes in the left-hand sink must be scrubbed and cleaned and placed in the right-hand sink. And if there's availability in the dishwasher, then that's where they go instead. And then if the dishwasher's full, then they stay in the right-hand sink. that if there's any confusion of the two, I will immediately go to work.
Huh.
It's one of those OCD things.
So all I have to do if I'm ever your roommate, if I want you to do dishes, is just leave scrubbed things in the right side of the sink, and then it just all gets done.
Oh no! I am cerebral. So, probably a year back. No, did it? Maybe a year back.
Was it during COVID?
Before it was just
So-
before COVID. So a little over a year back.
Looking like almost 2 years back at this point.
This house used to be a fucking party house, and much to my chagrin. And it was kind of, I can't say it was unwanted, because when COVID happened,
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to make a place for people to come to and feel comfortable. And you know, if you were fearful of COVID, you didn't have to show up. If you didn't give a fuck about COVID, then you have a place to go to. That sort of thing.
Mhm.
You know, we're not going to hold it against you either way. But we're like, we'll provide food, we'll provide alcohol, we'll provide, you know, fun. And it was cool at first, but it turned into this whole other thing. And people were already kind of treating it as a party house a little ways before that. It just got worse with COVID. But anyway, there was some drama that happened. And you know, when I was talking to my roommate, I was like, dude, these people, I love them, but they will, if you give them the opportunity to, they will walk all the fuck right over you
Mhm.
and not think twice.
Because that
And
is
I'd
people.
yeah, that's people. And I'm like, okay, here's what I'll do to make you see what people are doing. I'm not going to touch shit that's not mine.
Uh-oh.
And there was one day in particular, I took pictures of it every single time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one day in particular where my roommate and several others, they cooked tri-tip, they cooked ribs, they fed an army.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they left them all the meat out overnight.
So how much did that just destroy your OC? Did you have to like go get a hotel room that night?
I almost did. No, there was one time in particular that I actually just ducked out and I said, "Fuck this, I'm out." And I actually stayed at my folks that night and had a conversation with my roommate, and it wasn't necessarily his fault. It was somebody else that pressured the other person to come into the room and flash me as I was live on Twitch.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and it wasn't the fact that I give a fuck about Twitch's policies, because some I would debate, but it's mostly because my niece and nephew may potentially watch my stream, and they don't fucking need to see that.
Besides, if you're gonna do that shit, I mean, Darren, you can start an OnlyFans.
Then no.
Yeah, you can take like the top of your head pics. Me and you both. I
want the bald crew.
Yeah.
I immediately stopped the stream. I deleted it and then fucking ducked out. And then I had a conversation with the person that fucking did it. And I had many conversations with that dude. And I'm like, dude, you don't give a fuck about your friends. You don't. Yeah, I do. And I'm like, no, you don't. And here's why. Because if you did, you would actually not do the shit that you do.
Is this the same idiot that I think is an idiot?
Yeah.
Oh. So he fits even more of the stereotypes.
Yep.
Why?
Not using names.
Huh?
Not using names.
I am not using names either. The fact that I've never met this person, and that's the first person that came to mind when you brought up these type of antics, like it matches that particular. So
he's a 15-year-old kid trapped in a 34-year-old man's problems. And
so what? Divorced twice, 3 kids.
Almost. He might as well have been. I'm surprised he didn't have an STD. In fact, there's a fun story. I'm gonna put a metal book on it. We call it the trifecta. But he's a bully. That's the short description of who and what he is. Mm-hmm. He says things that he thinks are funny that are even outdated for high school standards. Um, he's got no filter,
Is he the guy
quality
in Call of
assurance
Duty that
conveyor belt.
still screams out, "I fucked your mom"?
No,
Okay.
he doesn't play Call of Duty. The only time he ever played Call of Duty was when he was living here. And he was on my PlayStation when I was on the computer. So, but anyway, he's just a bully. Nothing. There's nothing further to describe from that.
All right.
And picking up the metal bookmark. So there's 4 friends of ours. He's one of them. That have all slept with the same women. All right. There are branches here and there that don't cross any of the other 3's paths. Right. But a lot in particular have slept with all 4 of them, but mostly 3 of them. And there was one night in particular where she was just drunk as shit and she was looking for dick. Like
Okay.
she was on the hunt. Right. And at first I'm like, okay, she seems kind of cute. And then she got drunk and she got out of control. And I'm like, yeah, you're not for me. So I ain't touching this. You do you, boo. And she was with safe people that, nothing of that sort. So we know that she hooked up at least with one of them that night. Like we know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another funny story behind that. But the next morning, 3 of the guys, they come out. She's like, oh, I got with or my roommate came out. He's like, oh, so how much fun did you have with so-and-so? And he's like, well, she wasn't here with me in the morning. And he's like, another friend of ours was like, wait, what time did you get with her? Then our other friend walked in. And he's like, wait, what time did you get with her?
Damn.
Apparently, she got with all 3 of them within a span of like 2 to 3 hours.
Damn.
Yep.
So the real question is, the last person that got with her, did she go look for more dick, or was she finally satisfied? Because what that shows is the first 2 are horrible in bed.
Yep.
I just want to like.
that was going through my mind too, and I'm like, wow, I at least spend about 20 to 30 minutes in just foreplay.
Oh, we just won't bring up that kind of stuff. I don't know how Twitch feels about that.
It's human sexuality, and our shit's labeled for mature audiences only. So, but that's what was going through my mind is how bad are you guys that she had to bounce from dude, like homie hop, basically.
Homie, I've never heard of it called homie hop, but you know what? I like that.
Homie hopping.
Homie hopping.
It's actually kind of it's more of a derogatory term because it's someone that will bounce from guy to guy within the same group, and to my knowledge, will do it in a negative context, like kind of like a revenge fuck or whatever.
So in high school, I was actually part of a group of friends. Like when I was first in the group of friends, it wasn't called this because we're all just becoming friends. Everything else that was like freshman year of high school, something like that. By sophomore year, I had left that group of people, started hanging out with the theater kids more often, everything else. But that group on campus ended up getting the nickname of the incest group because all they did was date each other.
Yeah, and the borderline community in general is pretty incestuous. So, I mean, I guess when you have like a large enough community of friends, that shit just tends to happen.
It wasn't a large group though. There was only like 10 of them. They
literally.
You talking
about your group?
Yeah.
You talking about your group? Or
yeah.
Oh.
Well, no. If you're talking about something like a club or something like that, yes, there's going to be a large group of people and a bunch of people from different walks of life or whatever it was. No, this is just a small group of friends, and one of the females in there, it was literally the joke was that she was either the group bicycle or the old Blockbuster thing. Be kind, rewind for the next person. And
damn.
Right? It's bad.
That's pretty good.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I hooked up with several of the girls in that group, but it was all before it was known as the incest group.
Yeah, but that's also a pretty community. When you talk about that level, those kind of communities can be relatively small, and even in any size community of friends, it's that shit's bound to happen. It's just when it comes to the term homie hopping, you're doing it deliberately. So in this case, she did it deliberately, but
But was there malice involved, or was she just really just? I'm sorry,
there was
guys.
no
You're just
malice involved.
all right. Yeah, it's
There was no. I mean, if it was ever possible, she would have been part of a gangbang that night with all three of them. I just don't think any three of them would be willing to cross swords that way.
it's only gay if you make eye contact.
Hey.
Or what is the military one? It's only gay if it's not gay if your boots are not bloused or something.
I've heard that one.
I never understood it, to be totally honest with you. Like I'm like I don't get what having your little pieces of bungee cord around your ankles make something gay or not. But
don't even the whole blousing of the fucking.
So I got lucky.
Fucking stupid.
I got lucky at one point because so while I was gearing up to go to Iraq, right? I didn't end up going. I ended up staying in Fort Dix. But as we were getting ready to go, we were issued new uniforms, and they were still the ACU print. This was 2008, but they were fire retardant uniforms, and you could tell because they had this little tiny square right here. They were slightly pink, and that was the uniforms we were supposed to wear when we were going overseas. Cool, except that they ran out of that type of fire retardant uniform by the time I got there. My unit got there in like February of 08. I got there March 31st. So I'm there almost 2 months late because I didn't finish basic training until March 8th. They'd already been there a month and a half by the time I finished basic. I was given a couple like about 20 days to figure my shit out, and then I'm deploying. So that was an eye-opener. But so they're out of these uniforms, so the only uniforms that they have are flight crew uniforms for the warrant officers and for the like the helicopter mechanics and such. Well, those uniforms are not supposed to be bloused. So I walked around with these like baggy ass clothes on because that was my issued uniform. I made quite a bit of money off of it too.
So in basic, we had to blouse the fucking trousers and everything. And I think we still, by regulation, had to do that for, I think, maybe 6 months to a year that I was in. And then we got a brand new Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, and he undid the whole fucking blousing thing. Like, he's just like, dude, just fucking tuck it in. Nobody gives a shit.
Well, okay, so that's the whole thing. Is I never actually use those little blousing things. I always just put them into my boots, and they fell over the top of it, and that was the end of it.
Oh like, no, there was an easy way to do it, and one of our instructors in basic showed us how. For the longest time, we thought you put your pants on, and then you, I think it was, you put on the blousing strap and then you tuck it under or something like that. The way this guy showed us, it was fucking brilliant. He's like, put your pants on, then pull your pant leg inward, drop trowel completely. So that way the pant leg is still sticking up by your knee. And then you put the blousing strap on, then put your pants back on and adjust.
Yeah, see? Hey, Mom. Like I said, I always just tucked it into my boots.
That's what we started doing afterward. Like, after basic, the guard base didn't give a shit. Nobody was gonna, unless you were like deliberately against regulation on the uniform, nobody was gonna give a shit about tucking in the boot.
But like and
then eventually they got rid of it.
Like, I saw other people doing it, and they're like, oh yeah, it's so much nicer, it's so much freer, and I'm just like, just get pants that are slightly larger, like slightly longer, and tuck them into your boots. Like, I don't get it. Which also, I got away with wearing white socks through most of my stuff as well, which I wasn't supposed to do, but...
Yeah, I wore white socks all the time.
Well, aren't you guys, isn't that part of your golf uniform?
We don't have a golf uniform, thank you.
Just go with the buff.
We started with green socks, and then we went to the OCP. It was like the Spice Brown socks, something like that.
So we were authorized black or green, and someone so I was a reservist, and someone gave me crap for wearing white socks one day. Like we were doing search and seizure. So basically, we were doing searching whatever, and part of the search is to untuck the unblouse the boots to make sure that they're not hiding anything in that small fold, whatever. And one of the sergeants is like, "Why the fuck are you wearing white socks?" And I'm like, "Because I'm here playing army for 2 days a month." And of course, they're kind of like a new person to the unit, and they're like, "Oh, you think this is funny?" I'm like, "Yes, actually, look at what the fuck we're doing. This is hilarious. We're not going to be doing this kind of thing. This is not what our mission is. And even if this was our mission, huh?"
You should have been like, actually, like in a general perspective, I think this is kind of sad.
But okay, so here's the whole thing. So my unit's main mission was Gitmo, okay, Guantanamo Bay, and that's where they went for their deployments. And the unit doesn't even exist anymore. The 314th is gone. Like they dissolved into something else. I don't even know what the unit is anymore. But anyway, and so they would get there, but you were not allowed to touch an individual from their knees to their shoulders. So you weren't even allowed to actually frisk them. And if they were wearing some kind of a head wrap, you couldn't have them remove it because of religious reasons. You couldn't touch their beard because of religious reasons. And so here you are checking from their knees down, but you don't want to touch their feet because that's also against regulation. So you can literally touch from the knee to the ankle, and that's it. And so as we're sitting there at this training, right? And at this point, I'd been in probably 9 years, and this sergeant had probably been in for about 5 or 6. All right, so the only reason I never promoted was my injury. That's bottom line. So all these other people have known me for years and everything else. And he's just like, "Well, what if we're in this kind of situation?" I'm like, "Sorry, we're not going to be in that situation. That situation does not exist anymore." And he's getting pissed off because I'm talking back to him in front of a bunch of people. Again, he's new. He doesn't realize this. I'm like, "Sorry, let's go take a walk." And normally that's the higher up that says it to the lower enlisted, let's go take a walk type thing. And at that point, when he looked over to an E7 and saw that it was me doing it, and saw the Sergeant First Class just kind of smile, he's like, "Okay, apparently I'm taking a walk with the specialist." And so we finally, we go like behind the motor pool, whatever. I'm like, "Sergeant, you need to chill the fuck out, all right? This is what's going on. This is what it is. I understand you came from active duty. This is a much slower thing. You may do one more deployment in the next 4 years that you're here. If you're unlucky, you'll do 2. Unless you volunteer yourself for things, you're going to do 4.
That's actually one of the adjustments that my roommate ran into when he switched over from active duty to the Guard. And in some ways, the Guard, especially that base at the time at least, embodied what he had already visualized on the active duty side. Be like, stop dicking around with the petty bullshit and focus on the actual mission at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So am I really gonna he's the type of person where it's like, dude, am I really gonna give a fuck if you forget to salute me while outside? Well, guess what, we're always supposed to be training, we're always supposed to be ready. So if we're outside in the fucking sandbox, are you really gonna salute me? Because you don't want to give away the higher rank to the enemy. Well, if you fail to do the salute, now when it comes to ceremony and pomp and circumstance, absolutely, respect all that shit. But he doesn't sweat all that kind of shit. So when he came over to the Guard, it was a fairly easy transition for him. The hardest parts for him was the administrative side, where how the Guard conducts its business and how the statuses and policies work. That shit he wasn't used to. Like active duty, you're always on an order. So you're always using one pot of funds. When you switch over to the Guard, you have potentially 3 different pots of funds that you're, and you could be using 2 of them at any given time, and that's just 3 of them, right? There's actually like, I think 10 of them. So there were so many layers to the onion that he just didn't understand yet. And yeah, it took a while to adjust, but his boss, did a pretty good job of, getting him in the right direction.
Was it layers of an onion or a parfait? Because everyone loves parfait.
I actually hate parfaits.
I don't really care. I don't care for them either.
Parfaits. I like parfaits. Parfaits. For whatever reason, for whatever reason, I don't know why when you said that, but I was thinking creme brulee. And I'm like, I do not like creme brulee.
Oh, I'm just taking the line from Shrek. But let me guess, you've never seen it.
No, wait. Never seen Shrek. But you're also trying to shit on the Air Force, and I'm just not dignifying you with an emotional response. So that's how you snuff. That's how you snuff that flame.
Oh, but it is a little. I mean, for us at least, it was hard being in the reserves purely because you'd show up for 2 days, right? Maybe 3.
Right.
But all it was admin, and that's it. Because you have a weekend to do a full month's worth of admin shit. So if there were classes or if there was whatever, like I never did beyond SSD level 1. SSD is the something security defenses. I'd have to go look it up. I never really cared enough to learn what the acronym was. But there's SSD up to level 5 apparently, and level 5 is a like 400-hour course that's required of E7 and above, or SSD 4 or something like that. But anyway, basically as you go up in rank, you have to do more of them. But there were people that, you know, would literally spend that time. So they would spend, you know, what would that be? Roughly, because, I mean, drill's supposed to only be 8 hours. It was like more like 10 or 12. So they would spend, you know, about 24 hours every month doing, you know, their SSD. And it would still get it done in time, as long as it wasn't.
Legally.
Go ahead.
Legally, drill is 48 hours. So, that's what you're paid for, and all the authority of things are based on what you're paid for. So drill is a 48-hour period in which you have 2 8-hour or 2 10-hour duty days, depending on whatever it is. But if they wanted to recall you for whatever fucking reason within that 48-hour time frame, they could do it.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, we've gone well over the 48-hour thing, like getting back from range because something stupid happened. You know, we've gone into, you know, Monday morning, 6 a.m., where all these people are like, I've got to be at work in 30 fucking minutes. Like, what are we doing here?
And there's some things that, well, okay, so you just described like 2 different scenarios. So that dude that had to go to work in like 30 minutes to a civilian job, all right? If it was a Sunday before midnight, then his civilian job takes a backseat, and his civilian job can't do a damn thing about it.
No. This was Monday morning. We did not get back to the unit until 6 a.m. Monday morning, and he was supposed.
That's a violation of the fucking unit.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
but no, that's what I'm getting at.
When I hear stories about that on the Army side, it just fucking baffles me because the admin and the financial go hand in hand. And it doesn't matter what branch you're in. If you are part of comptroller, then you adhere to Department of Defense financial management regulation. You adhere to the joint travel regulation, which means all 6 branches comply to it. And when I hear that, like that fucking story where it's like they made you go 6 hours over the 48-hour mark, it's like, dude, you have to put them on a fucking AT day at the very minimum. So that way they're covered with their civilian employer. Now, the shitty part of the civilian employer is they can't, if they're actually on an order, there isn't dick fucking squat that they can do about it, so long as that military member is in the duration of the order. But before or after it, they could do whatever the fuck they want.
So that whole thing, and the reason that we were so incredibly late, first off, we were going out to range in Fort Irwin. Have you ever been to Fort Irwin, NTC?
No.
It's past Barstow, all right?
I know where it is, but I've never been there.
So we're coming back on a Sunday night down the 15.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just think about what else is in that direction coming back on a Sunday night.
Oh, Vegas.
So it was not actually Command's fault. There happened to be a super big wreck that ended, like the bus trip ended up taking like almost 12 hours. So it was not actually Command's fault. We were actually due to be back around, I think it was at 8 o'clock or something like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe 10 o'clock, but we were due to be back. And yeah, it was stupid. So a lot of
Yeah.
people were either late or just didn't go to work that day because, well, some people went straight from drill to their job because it was at like, 2 in the morning or something like that. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll just take a half day on a graveyard or something. But
And the one cool thing about the guard is, let's say that did happen, like let's say that bled into a drill, that the military member can just make up that drill on another time. So that's one of the conveniences of the guard.
what do you
But
mean?
so like let's say I'm gonna go to drill at Fort Irwin,
Okay.
and there's a big old fucking accident on uh
Oh, you're talking about
let's say
just missing drill and just RTSing. Or RST, I mean.
well, that's what it used to be called. Now it's just called now it's called RSD, rescheduled drill, which doesn't
Okay.
make sense.
That particular one you cannot RST because it's range.
Ours we can do any.
No, we were not allowed to RST range or AT.
We did have a blackout, like a drill that could not be missed unless like somebody had to have died. Yeah, like close immediate circle of family. Somebody had to have died in order for you to miss this drill, and I forget which one it was. But it usually fell the one blackout date. There's one blackout date like that every year, and there's another blackout date that will also happen, and that's during inspection period, and that's every there's a follow-up every 3 and then a full one every 6, where basically 40 people from all different types of organizations within the DoD will come to the base and basically walk you through all your fucking processes. And it, even on the finance side, that shit lasts about a week.
No thanks.
And it's pretty ruthless, but that's the drill that you cannot miss. And if you miss it, you're gonna get an LOR on the spot.
Don't even know what that means.
Letter of reprimand.
Yeah, ours were
That's
counseling statements.
stage 1 of 3 of a administrative discharge is an LOR in the Air Force.
Yeah, for like I said, we were not allowed to miss range because you did have to qualify so often in order to keep your MOS, and if you did not qualify, you were, there was a chance you would just lose your MOS because you can't be an MP without having qualified on your 9. There were two a year, and I think you had to qualify once a year minimum. And so technically, yeah, you could miss one, but if you missed both, yeah, you lose the MOS, you lose your security status, and even if you go and get your stuff back, then you got to redo your security status.
Yeah, ours worked differently from, and this would probably be a Joe question, but basically, your only time we ever went to the range, when I say we, I don't mean the Air Force specifically, I just mean the Guard.
Mm-hmm.
The only time we ever went to the range, one, security forces, I believe, has to do it on the reg, just like MPs.
Mm-hmm.
But they never did it on, to my understanding, they never did it on a drill weekend because we use Ventura County Sheriff's Office. So we always arranged the range days when they were not in conflict with the VCSO school, to my understanding. VCSO school has to go to the range as well. The only other time we went to the range, and this is regardless of what your job code is if you were deploying. So funny enough, in basic training, enlisted is we get trained in the M16. Officers in their basic training, they get trained in the M9, which I think is a little stupid, but whatever. If you go into security forces or JSOCs or anything like that, then you have to qualify in additional weapons. But if you are deploying, then you go on a range day, that's not on a weekend, and qualify on the M9 for the deployment.
Why is it stupid that your officers qualify in the M9 and not the M16?
It's a Secretary of the Air Force question.
No. I'm asking you. Why is it stupid that they qualify on the M9 Because you just
think
said
they
I
should.
think it's stupid.
I do think it's stupid. I think that should be qualified in the same when it comes to weapons and arms training. An officer is not going to be better in combat than an enlisted. An enlisted is not going to be better in combat or munitions or tools than an officer. It all comes down to the individual. Someone's going to be better than the other. That's not going to be that's going to be regardless of rank. So by that standard, we should all be qualified to the same shit of a bare minimum. So if the enlisted is going to qualify on the M16, well, and something happens and I need to go front line with an M16 and I'm going to be buddied up with the fucking butter bar. I want that butter bar to know how to handle an M16.
So like I said, as far as the MPs went, we had to qualify on that, but we also qualified on our M4s. And most of our gunners qualified on other weapons also. It wasn't actually a qual, but it was weapon familiarization. So you're talking, the 240, the 249, the Madu, and the Mark 19. And it's fun, you go out there and everything else, but on the train up for the deployment, you pretty much hit the range every other week. Not just for qual. Yes, you have to qual, but I mean, you're using your weapons in those train ups repeatedly in whatever the situation has to be, whether it's using sims, whether it's using blanks and miles gear, or you're literally just yelling bang bang. But you're using these things like continuously, especially to the point that the crew serves that are on the Humvees, they're getting back to their. I'll be honest with you, we tried to not fire rounds because of how hard it is to clean blanks, like the residue that blanks leave in a weapon. We don't want to fire blanks out of our weapons.
There's actually, to my understanding, I think the Navy actually implements this, where when they train people on the M9s before they go to the live range, they're actually using a electronic simulator where the M9 will do the recoil in the exact same like pressure and manner.
Yes, it's
than an
called
actual M9 will.
it's called the EST, the electronic simulated training, and it's cool.
I think that's brilliant because it gives you at least the right mindset and prep work of how to aim your weapon, so that way you're not wasting.
And he's gone again. I don't know what is with his shit in Discord, guys. Like, it's just continuously, it just hates him. One of these days we will figure it out. I don't know when, but one of these days. Is that what we're going to keep track of from now on?
I'm telling you, dude.
I don't know what you did to piss off the Discord gods.
It is the only video. It is only Discord. No other video chat service that I have ever crashes this off.
How many random porn sites do you have running in the background that Discord hates you this much?
Let me think. None.
Okay, like what programs do you have running right now?
Holy shit.
Okay, see that's a problem. The fact that you said holy shit. Like, what are you doing right now that you need more than like Streamlabs and Streamlabs, Discord, and Twitch running?
Always have Outlook open. OneNote I can get rid of because I actually close that. I don't know why fucking OneNote does that.
Why do you need Outlook right now? Like, are you going to like start answering emails like while you're on?
I actually do. So emails or questions that I submit to TuneCore, ASCAP. I'll need responses on the ASCAP. It has something to do with music. I forget.
Okay.
Dude, I'm so fucking tired. But basically, they're the protectors of music.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Outlook, ASCAP, obviously any kind of jobs that come my way and email traffic that I have going back and forth on that. I always have Outlook open so I can answer it quickly. Let's see. I also got Steam.
I close Steam when I'm not using it because there's no reason to have it open.
I actually have to have it open for the stream avatars. let's see what else. Basically a bunch of Alienware and Dell bullshit. Acronis
Oh, and I have one
and
additional.
Adobe.
I have one additional thing open. I have the NVIDIA Broadcaster for the background effects. I mean, yes, there's a bunch
No,
of
that
other
was,
random stuff, but it's all the, the Windows things and
yeah.
whatever. And but as far as actual things go, before I do the podcast, I restart my computer. Oh, I thought I lost him again. I restart my computer,
Yeah.
and I don't open up any other programs at all until the stream is done. At that point, then I start opening up other programs and.
And about the only thing on my system that's being ran fucking ragged right now is my CPU, and that's because of the Twitch Studio Beta. So, and that's one of the things that I knew was going to happen when I flipped back to it. Twitch Studio Beta versus Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs uses way less resources to run.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch Studio Beta is super fucking easy to use.
See,
Way easier than OBS.
I never had a problem with OBS. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to get the very first scene. But then after you do that, like everything else is almost copy paste on whatever it is. And you just kind of replace a file with one of the other files.
It's not that it's hard, difficult to use. It's just where Streamlabs is easy to learn and use. Twitch Studio Beta is even easier. Period. Dot. And so are you watching my stream right now?
Yeah. There was a network error. Please try again. Error number 2000. Click here to reload player.
Probably on my end, because I got that one too. Let me know when you're reloaded.
Yeah, I'm watching your stream.
All right. So.
Right, Mark? Oh, by the way, Mark, I am looking forward to singing you in, 3 days from now? Yeah, Mark's going to be out here, by the way, in a couple of days. All right,
yeah, he already told me.
So now your shit says, be right back. You got your timer going.
Okay, so you see that little animation effect?
Okay.
That's all built within Twitch Studio Beta. There's no overlays to do. There's nothing from Streamlabs that you need. It's all built in, and there's a shit ton of presets.
Yeah, you can. The thing is, I can also do that. I just don't have it. Like, mine is a fade-in, because that's the thing that I want. So, like, here, I'll just go to my gameplay real quick. And it is a fade-in. And I kind of like the fade-in, and that's the reason I've kept that. Otherwise... But
yeah, so Twitch Studio Beta, it uses a shitload of resources on my system. Otherwise, my CPU barely fucking kicks on, even with all the shit that I have loaded. So I think Andrew was probably nailing it right on the head, where my computer was meant to do a lot of things, but streaming was not one of them.
What kind of a graphics card are you running at this point?
You want the specific one or just the size?
Just the general thing. Like, I'm running a 2080 Super. I don't need to know that it's NVG 2080 Super Trio with, convertible top and,
I don't know either description that you just made. Probably
well, I mean, is your thing an AMD or is it a Intel?
They're dual AMDs. Dual 8 gigs.
You have 2 graphics cards in your little machine?
Huh. Thanks.
Yeah, see, Alex has got a GTX 1080 Ti. The girlfriend runs a 1060. I've got my 2080. My laptop's got a 2070. I want to pick up a 30 series, huh?
In all of my days in building computers, I still have no idea what anybody's talking about when they say I have a 1060, a 1080.
So
I have no idea.
The
only thing I ever gave a fuck about was like, give me the cache size. Like, is it a 2 gig? Is it a 4 gig?
So if you're going with the NVIDIA, okay, the first set of numbers is what generation it's part of. So you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 20. 10, 20, 30. That's that first thing. And then the second set is what basically where it is on a tier. So on average you have 60, 70, and 80s. And that's just, what level it is. The 80 is the highest thing that there was up until this new series came out. So we'll use Alex. So he has a NVIDIA GTX 10th generation high tier. Ti is the titanium edition. It's like the best of the best for what he has.
Yeah.
Like at the time, that is the best NVIDIA graphics card you could have had.
So, in the answer to your question, it is dual AMD RX 580s.
Now I'm going to do a little research.
While you do that, I'm going to take a quick break.
580 versus...
Should be an 8 gig.
Let's look up the 1060 versus the 580. Benchmark. Let me do this real quick, guys, so you guys can actually see what the hell I'm looking at. No. Nope, don't want that one. Don't need that. Nope, that didn't work either. I need to create a new scene. I haven't done this. Let's see. I think I can do this. Let's see. Let's Discord, duplicate it to website. Now I'm on website. Window capture. We want it to be... That's fine. Is going to work. I have no idea how to do this. There we go. Alright, you guys should still be able to hear me. Wait, what kazoos? If there was kazoos, I missed kazoos. I don't see kazoos. Anyway, benchmark.com. Let's go to... Now it's, Is that it? I think this is it. Okay. Alright, let's see here. GPUs. Compare. He said he's running AMD 580s versus GTX. We'll start off easy with a 1060. So the 1060 is slightly better. Superseded by the, yeah. Oh, let's see what happens when we compare it to mine.
Okay.
There it
I
goes.
am keeping my tank top on because it is fucking hot.
Hmm. So yeah, you ended up with like a middle of the road thing. So the 580 came out in 2017,
Okay.
and it's the 5 series by AMD, and they have the 70, the 80, and the 90. So yours is like the middle. Right now for GPUs, it is still ranked 84th out of 665, so it's not horrible.
Well, you also got to remember this computer was built / bought 40 years ago,
Okay.
5 years ago now.
Um, but yeah, let's. What could we do to upgrade?
I am not touching any component inside my computer. If I'm gonna change anything on my computer, I'm just gonna buy a new one.
Because there's a newer one that came out. It's the RX 680 by AMD, or 6800 by AMD, and it's ranked 17th on benchmark right now.
Great.
Technically, it's a better thing than mine is. Better graphics card than mine.
I would prefer to stay NVIDIA. It's just when it came to the gigabyte size per monitor, that's what I was focused on, and that one allowed me to do either 8 gigs per or 4 gigs per monitor, or about 2 point something. So, depending on whether or not I have Crossfire enabled.
Yeah, see, I really want to pick up the 3080. I would do a 3090, but it's just so fucking expensive. $1,500 for it.
Yeah, not worth it.
The 3080 is $700.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing about Twitch Studio Beta. So you can control your chat straight from the streaming application. You don't actually have to be in the browser.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, because it's Twitch.
It's Twitch.
But
that the downside is you cannot stream to any other platform.
Well, yeah, because it's technically against the terms of service that we agreed to when we became affiliates. So of course we can't do that. All right, let's go back to this. Oh, did I fuck it up? I think I fucked it up.
Why do you fuck it up? You make it angry. Don't make
I made it angry.
Yeah, I switched back to my tank top because I'm still fucking sweaty.
Nope, it wasn't that one. It was... Nope, not Who to Watch. Where is it? I think I swore it was this one.
We're about to watch Loki. Episode 3.
Follower goal. Ah, now I don't know what the fuck I did.
What are you doing? Stop breaking things.
I'm definitely breaking things. Why is this not working? Guys, I don't know what I did.
Stop breaking things.
Why is it showing... I apologize, guys. I don't know why it's showing this thing. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be showing this other screen. No, not automatic. I guess automatic.
Oh.
Ah, there it is. Fixed it.
Why are you breaking it, man?
I was trying... Okay, I'm sorry that I had to stall while you went and used the bathroom, alright? But anyway. I know, Missa, I know. But anyway, as soon as I get a better graphics card, this thing over here goes into Missa's computer. And then... Yeah, I don't know. Like, the only problem with, like, the 30 series right now is that they're really not flashy looking. They're very subdued. Like, the entire look of them is just really plain.
Yeah, but see, that's an Apple mentality where I don't give a fuck about how it looks inside, and I generally don't give a fuck how it looks outside. To some extent, I will give a fuck how it looks. But my overall goal is performance. Is it going to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish? And at the time that I got the computer, streaming wasn't even a forethought. So my goal was give me the most capacity, give me the most capability, so that way I can render music and do all that shit.
See, here's the problem, all right? I bought a case to show this shit off.
See, that's a you problem.
No, it's like I want to give you guys more money, but like they're selling Coke Ices at McDonald's. Wow, why are you at McDonald's? Or are you just listening to the radio?
Oh, look at the squirrel. It's for
no shit. Sorry, I'm responding to chat. But anyway, like, so this thing right here is my graphics card, of course. I even got the 90-degree mount so that it would show off the graphics card.
I mean, again, does it look cool? Yes, but looking cool and doing what you want it to do are two very different things. And that right there just looks like a lot of money invested just for looks.
Yeah, but this a lot of money invested is running Discord, while your computer isn't. So your computer, by standards, is not doing what you want it to.
But again, I never intended to use fucking Discord, and if it had not been for streaming, I would not have Discord on my computer, which is the only fucking application that crashes on this thing.
No, Discord is super heavy use and everything else, and people have been complaining about it for quite a while.
Zoom, Facebook Messenger, of all things, does not crash, but Discord does.
Well, Facebook Messenger is literally only a messaging service. Like, there's a lot of shit going on with Discord.
You could do video. You could do video chat the same way in Discord you can do in Facebook Messenger.
Right, but you can't do 6 different chat rooms that you can just hop into at a whim with like 9 people in each.
You actually can. It's not the difference between the two is Discord is mostly a social network service built around a communications platform like video chat like this.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Facebook is the social communications platform in on itself, and built upon it is the messaging platform.
So
two different trains of thought.
Oh, okay. And Mrs. Holmes, you guys are gonna hear dogs barking. On cue.
Yeah. Right on cue. Right on time.
I don't know why they do that. Like, they know that she's gonna be home, and they never stop.
Fudge does the same fucking thing. You know, when Joe shows up and the garage door opens, it's like, Fudge, there are 3 people that have this garage door opener. I am one of them. I'm already here, so you know it's safe. All right?
But what was I saying? I mean, if you want to, we can try running this whole thing from Facebook Messenger, but personally,
that's the downside. That's the downside with streaming. Is I can't remember which application. I want to say it's Zoom was the only one that worked while streaming.
Well, I mean, all of them are going to work as long as you have it in the forefront and as long as you are using a Windows capture. You just can't interact with anything.
Already tried it. So Facebook none of the applications except I think Zoom in browser works. And I need to do maybe I could do a little bit of research as to why, but Discord is the only other application that works while streaming.
Yeah, and the thing is about Discord in general, because of Ray, as awesome as he is, he's boosted the server so that we can actually get higher frame rates from our Discord streaming.
Hi, Missa.
Darren says hi, Missa, because I don't have my background blur on, so...
Oh, thanks a lot.
Oh. Fine, here. You are now just a blur, but you are... You're still there.
The instant response was like, oh, nice.
So this is how the world sees. I mean, this is how Missa sees the world behind me. She is blind as hell.
I am not, you liar.
This is how I see the world. Through my eyes. Through Mrs. Eyes.
The focus on you the same?
Am I about to get stabbed?
I like how your face literally did just change.
But anyway, but yeah, Darren, you should, oh, my mom says hi also.
Hello, Mom Janine.
She says, hello, Mom Janine. By the way, I did call Dad today about Father's Day because I forgot a few days ago, and you guys can give me a bunch of shit about it, but what I normally do is when I talk to my dad a few days or even a week before Father's Day or his birthday or any holidays, I always wish him a happy whatever fill-in-the-blank holiday because I know I'm going to forget. And I'm remembering at that moment, so that way if I'm a week early and a couple days late, then it kind of like evens out to saying it on that day.
There was not an argument per se, but I think it was many moons ago. My mom threw a conniption fit about, not doing anything special for Father's Day or Mother's Day or anything like that, or thinking of anything. I just straight up asked them, be like, hey, is there anything you guys want for Father's or Mother's Day? I'm like, if you're gonna make me think about it, then I'm just gonna get you scratchers, right? Which they're perfectly okay with. But it's like, if you were expecting any kind of ingenuity here, forget it. It's like, you tell me what you want.
G-Man, that is Darren. He's the dude that actually wrote, directed, produced. Eventually, you'll hear the lyrics to, played all the instruments, blah, 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 for the intro song. He is my co-host of Everything But Politics, but sometimes politics. Yes, this is Darren. This is Mr. Text-to-Speech. This is...
Let's
there. Make sure that, Darren gets his proper shout out. By the way, who was asking last night? It wasn't G-Man. It was someone else that was asking about where to get your music from.
Oh. Hacks. Let me pull up the browser, because if I go to the site and just pull the link up directly, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
There's more than these stores, but those are the ones. There's way more stores. Music is uploaded and will be uploaded too, than what's listed on my website. It's just those are the most commonly used ones for now.
So Darren, when is your next album going to drop?
That question mark. So I need one more track done. It's weird with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. When it comes to music, I think they only allow like 4 songs at a time per submission. So it's only $35 to to submit for the copyright.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, better $35 and get 4 in one shot than 35 every fucking time. So it's just simple arithmetic.
Will You Know Nothing be on your next album?
It will.
Nice. Guys, you heard it here first.
So, fun story. I emailed Twitch and I'd be like, hey, I'm a musician and I make music. And a fellow streamer wanted me to make a song for his stream. How do I go about providing you the license agreement information or acquiring said license agreement information? That way he doesn't violate DMCA rules as per your own policy. I shit you not.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the email. All right. I'm gonna share my screen for you so people on your end can see it, but it's on mine as well.
All right, let me this. Okay, here it is.
I know a go fuck yourself when I see it.
That is definitely a go fuck yourself.
I got that email literally the same day, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And I'm like, I never asked you to provide me a license agreement. I wanted to know how to provide it to you.
So I think that you're gonna have to like message back and be like, homie, please read email again.
Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
again, I was
Production's
maybe, but
Go ahead.
I mean, I have solutions in my head on how to how to fucking dance around this. And so remember back in the day with MTV when they were showcasing music videos and you would see on the bottom right hand screen the credits of the song.
Yes.
MTV back in the day would acquire a license agreement to play the video that was proprietarily owned by the label and was licensed out to MTV for rotation or VH1 or whatever. And in order for that to happen, you had to have those credits. Same exact concept. The difference is it'll be like a cocktail napkin policy where it's like, I'm not expecting a royalty from you.
So. Well, thank you.
Yeah. I'm getting royalties on my own, so do you, boo?
You know, I kind of wish that you could like earn like 3 cents from Twitch every time, you know, I play this thing at the beginning of a thing, because it is, you know.
That'd be cool, but the way I see it is it's like word of mouth advertising. So like the Borderline track that I'm writing, if the owner liked it enough to where he wanted to do, let's say if it was like the song of a commercial or whatever, he wanted to make it the official theme, I wouldn't want a fucking dime from him for that. That's, you know, that song was for him, and then anything I make off of it on my end is mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be good there. Anything, I'll take the free fucking advertisement.
I do, and everyone in here can vouch for it. I do shout you out, probably more than Spotify does.
Yeah. And
so I bring you up quite a bit. Every time I bring up the song or anything about it, I'm always like, yep, Darren, you should check him out. Cool dude. Knows how to write music.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So have you talked to Brett at all?
No.
Is that something?
I think he's been on my stream once.
Probably from a raid or something else. But the thing is okay, so here's the thing, G-Man, you weren't around for a lot of the other stuff. Darren is actually my high school bully.
Yep.
So
I am a reformed bully.
That apparently does dishes when he needs to.
Oh yeah, that's my OCD complex, and that's separate from being an asshole.
But anyway, so Brett has actually started a production company, not signing people, but signing just their songs. And then he's submitting those songs to a bunch of, you know, other sources to see if they want to use it in anything. He's basically playing the middleman of trying to, you know, get people's songs in, you know, in different things.
Kind of like a broker.
Yep. And so he produces his own stuff also. One of his new things right now, which I think is actually fun, he's doing like minute 10-second songs that he's basically targeting at TikTok.
Okay.
So,
I think one of the stores I upload to with the platform that I use for publishing actually uploads to TikTok. I know it does Facebook and Instagram. So if you wanted to do like a Facebook story and you wanted my song behind it, you could actually search my song in Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you can add it to it. I don't know why the lyrics never uploaded though. So that's the only thing that doesn't show up.
Gonna have to resubmit
I've done
it then.
Before. I've done it before. It's pretty interesting. For the next album, I'll actually use that as a background music for the advertisement.
So that was actually another question I was going to have for you is, does the intro song ever get a music video of us playing like Call of Duty or rants or anything like that?
God, music videos are not even, you know, on the realm of thinking. It's just right now, it's just get it out there.
No, I'm not talking about your stuff. I'm talking about the theme song in particular.
Or
is it the same answer?
It's going to be the same answer. And
All
the
right.
reason why is I actually did make one video once. It's a private video, so no one can see it unless I give you the link. But it's my family and the aftermath of Dr. Mario and what it does to my family.
I think you've shown this to me at some point, but
I could show you privately, but yeah. Anyway, splicing that shit up was a pain in the ass. Like, I'll understand. Oh yeah, Dr. Mario. So Dr. Mario, Bomberman, Mario Party 2 specifically. If you ever want to lose friends, play those games with them. All right. Because you will lose friends especially in Bomberman. Bomberman for the Nintendo Switch. I think it's called Super Bomberman R. Oh my god. In this room, there was like people in here, and we were like kind of taking turns. Whoever was like first to lose had to give up their controller or some shit like that. Oh my god, it was full on war. Dr. Mario ain't got shit on Bomberman, but Dr. Mario is a simple enough game to understand.
G-Man's right though. Settlers of Catan is another one. Like I would put that on par with like Monopoly. You piss people off a whole lot easier. Like Monopoly is much more drawn out, and you kind of like pick people apart and like tear them down very slowly. Settlers of Catan, basically what you're trying to do is you have these cities, you build cities, and then you have these little roads, and you have to have so much space between your cities and attached on these roads, but at any point someone else could build their road straight through to where your road becomes a dead end and can't go anywhere. Or build a city at the same spot you were about to. And then, yeah, basically it just, it's so beautiful. The games don't take as long. I actually was reading a bunch of random facts today, and apparently the longest game of Monopoly on record took 90 hours to play.
Yeah, no. I don't have the patience for that.
Yes. Cutthroat is, it's so great.
But in answer to your question, yes, it will be on the next album. Yeah. So, and of course, I'll give you a free copy of it.
Well, thank you. One of the things that we were, I guess I can talk about that a little more off stream, actually. But yeah, going back to those types of things, I think GoldenEye was the first time I lost a friend over a game.
Yeah, GoldenEye was one of them.
Because
so if you're talking the N64 days, it was GoldenEye, Duke Nukem, Mario Kart, and then Mario Party 2. Those were the 4 fucking core games that you would lose friends on.
I have no idea what Baron Zemo is.
No idea what that is either.
Oh, yes. Objob. Yes. Objob.
Objob.
Yes.
You're talking about GoldenEye characters.
That freaking midget. Holy shit. Like, we would not allow people to play as Oddjob. And it was funny because, okay, so the facility, right? Everyone remembers the facility. That was like the one place that everyone loved to play. You could actually get back up into the vents if you were a certain character that had certain height. You would do 360s and be able to get in there. So Jaws was one of them. You could actually get up there with Natalia, with Bond, with a bunch of other people, but Oddjob you could not get up there. Me and my friend got so good at it, we would play on License to Kill. So, you know, hardcore, one-shot kill type things. And I got so good at proximity mines, I knew where all of the spawn points were, that I would just throw a proximity mine in each of the spawn points. And that's how I lost friends playing. Yeah, it was good times. And then based on where you were when you killed the person or when they died, you knew exactly like one of 3 places they were about to spawn.
Duke Nukem 3D was another one of those games where I knew like the spawn points and shit, especially Hotel Hell, that level. Um, yeah, and then Mario Kart 64, we started getting the hang of all the glitches. So it not only became like a regular race, but a regular race using the glitches. It just got real vindictive.
Did you play Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo?
It's available for Switch.
Is it
Yeah.
it's the same one is available for Switch now? Oh, I think this is the third crash. So I'm pretty sure that Darren just crashes every 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure like Discord has him on a timer, or maybe it's something in his house that just has him on a timer that just kicks him off, that like just drops his bandwidth toward Discord's like, nah, fam, we're good, and just boots him. So Rainbow Road, it depends on which one, because Rainbow Road has gone through so many iterations of Rainbow Road that I still believe that the hardest Rainbow Road was the original Super Nintendo Rainbow Road, because all the other ones you have so much more control with a joystick than you ever did with a D-pad. And power sliding was not a thing in Super Nintendo.
Not power sliding per se, but so the Super Nintendo one, you could drift. The drift was real fucked up, but you could, if you timed it right, you could do it. And in some ways, I think it was on the 150cc, you had to do it in order to get around, the top player or the top AI. But when it came to in answer to your question, the SNES Rainbow Road's not hard. It's just it has no walls, so it's very easy to fall off, and that's where drifting becomes a problem. With the Nintendo 64 version, it's just long.
Yeah,
it is a very long race, and with the newest one, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they brought back both of them. With the original Rainbow Road, they widened the track so you can still fall off, but they widened the track. But they also threw in a little extra, fuckery, where the thwomps would come down and would create a wave as, like, the impact happens. It would create like a tsunami on the track, and if you time it right, you can get an extra boost. If you don't time it right, you lose fucking traction, you lose speed. So it fucks with you one way or the other. But with the N64 remastered one, they basically just turn it into one lap. So
instead of the 3 laps that it was.
Correct. Instead of the 3 laps, it's 1 lap with 3 checkpoints.
Have you seen some of the speedrunners do that shit? Have you ever
Oh, yeah.
watched speedrunners on some of these things?
I've seen, the only speedrunner I've ever cared to watch was I've seen bits and pieces of others, like Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. I've seen other ones. I think Castlevania 1 I watched through and through. Castlevania 4 I only used for one particular level, and it's how to get past the second to last one. But because you have to time that right. If you don't time it perfectly, you die. But the only one I ever cared to watch through and through, and I still think to this day it's an amazing fucking watch, is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out blindfolded. The dude gets all the way to Mike Tyson on a blindfold.
And then can't do Mike Tyson, if I remember right, because he's the only one that doesn't have choreographed punches. Like his is actually randomized.
He does. You're both right. So the first round is, I believe, either 1 or 3. It's either 1 minute or the entire round of, he will at random between 1 and 3 seconds throw an instant knockout punch, and that's all random. After that, it's all choreographed.
Okay, so what, you just spend the first 1 to 3 minutes dodging, and then you can do what you want?
Mm-hmm. And to my understanding, you cannot land a single hit in that time. Like, even if you try, you're gonna get knocked out. So,
or get your ear bitten off.
Or get your ear bitten off. But yeah, you can get all the way. He gets all the way there on a blindfold, And then he's like, all right, just to humor you guys, I will try Mike Tyson on the blindfold, but he's like, it ain't gonna happen. All right, because it's gonna be between 1 and 3 seconds when he throws this hit, and if he hits me once, I go down. And sure enough, he fucking loses at that point, and then he takes the blindfold off and he wins it.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, did you hear that Logan Paul wants to box Mike Tyson now
Oh, good
after
God.
his fight with Mayweather?
Don't get me wrong. I would love to see Mayweather get his ass knocked out. All right.
Logan Paul's not the dude to do it. A YouTuber is not going to knock out Logan Paul. I mean, is not going to knock out Floyd Mayweather.
In a way, I'm a hypocrite because in as much as I would love to see Floyd Mayweather get knocked out because he's so brash and cocky, I was a big fan of Ronda Rousey, right? While
Mhm.
she was still undefeated.
Until she got in
So
there
it-
way too over pompous and got absolutely destroyed by Cyborg.
Well,
Was it?
no, it was never. She never fought Cyborg. It was Holly Holm. That was her
Okay.
first knockout. But she had 2 knockouts. In a way, she really did have it coming. But if you watch that fight, you can see her. I guess Holly Holm went for a punch, and that's Ronda's cue to grab the arm and use the judoku to take her down and twist into the armbar. And the thing of it was, is Holly Holm was skilled in the Muay Thai, which is all strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Ronda is a judoku. She's not a fighter. So if you keep Ronda at a distance, you're going to be fine. Also, Ronda never focused a lot on cardio because you can see her getting winded. There was another dude, BJ Penn was like that, where you get him to the second round and they're going to get winded real fast because they're used to the first round knockout sort of thing, or the first round submission. So I think Holly Holm got her to like second or third round, something like that. And Holly Holm goes in for a punch, and you can see Ronda like trying to grab the arm or going for the arm for a takedown, and she missed. Holly Holm instantly picked up on that, and by the time Ronda knew what was about to happen, her heel was already inches from her face. So there was I think at that point she knew there was nothing she could do. She fucked up and missed the arm. The heel's coming. It fucked her up pretty good too. Like, I guess her teeth were still loose for like a year.
Yeah, and then she went into acting. So we already knew her career was over at that point.
Oh God. Yeah, yeah.
She got she was in the Blizzard commercial for WoW Classic in the bar scene, doing her dancing on the table and bullshit, along with Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Here's what pisses me off about Ronda Rousey. So Ronda had always been a WWE fan, and she wanted to go into WWE at some point when she was done with her MMA career. That was already known. Okay, cool. Not the first time an MMA fighter's come over to the professional wrestling side. Ken Shamrock, I think, was the first.
Hold on.
Whatever. Not the first time a MMA fighter's transition. It got brought up. It was about to happen. Hey, to be honest, if Ronda gave you the minute, would you take her guys? You might need to clarify your question there, G-Man.
She would beat my ass. Like, no. I mean, unless there's a couple $1 million on the line. No.
Would I take her on or take her out on a date? What are you referring to? But she wanted to transition over to professional wrestling. Okay, cool. All right. And WrestleMania 30, like a date.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I don't know. Hold on. Missa?
What?
If UFC fighter Ronda Rousey asked me on a date, would I be able to go? Okay, yes.
I don't think she's your type.
I'm pretty sure Missa would pay money just to see you get your ass whooped on the date.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. But no, she's like, yeah, yeah, I guess, but she's not really your type. She's too alpha for. Wow. Damn. That's my girlfriend, guys.
It was a secret that she wanted to transition over to professional wrestling, and then she finally made the move. I can't remember what year it was, but it was WrestleMania 34. I watched the match. She botched one move out of the whole thing, which is surprising because MMA fighters are so used to specific technique and holds, and actually applying real holds to where they like a sleeper hold, for example, is also known as a rear naked choke. And in a rear naked, you're going to have the neck right here in the arm. So that way, you push the head down. All you got to do is close the bicep and flex, and the person's going to go down. Well, in professional wrestling, you're technically supposed to have the neck right here. So that way, you're not closing off the fucking jugular, right? And you can like squeeze the air tract a little bit so it looks real or whatever, but it's very easy to loosen up. You have to have a person right here. All you got to do is not flex. And from there, you can communicate with each other on what to do next. Well, out of all the bullshit Ronda could have fucked up, she only fucked up one move, and it looked like a fucking sidewalk slam. All she did was throw the person at the end of the day. Other than that, it was a great match. The fans were into it. It was hyped. It was well executed. It was pretty entertaining to watch. And then they decided to give her the belt. Okay, cool. We're going to give her a title run. Yay. And she did pretty well with it for a couple of years. But back in, I think, 2018, she asked for her release and threw a scathing promo on social media talking about how bullshit the WWE is, and wrestling 300 days a year in a fake fucking sport. If you did that in MMA, you'd be dead. Well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. It isn't MMA. It's real contact theater.
Yep.
That's what professional wrestling is. You are paid to get beat up choreographically. You're paid to learn how to take a chair shot. You can't fake a fucking chair going to the head. You can't fake a chair going to the back. And if you ever want to know what it feels like, take a steel chair and get hit in the back with it. I'm sure Missa would love to hit you with the chair.
Why is there so much hate aimed at me with like...
Because it's you.
See, guys? He's never changed. He is still bullying me.
I'm not bullying you. I'm just giving Missa ideas.
Thanks.
There's a difference.
She does not need any more ideas.
But yeah, she threw a conniption fit about, wrestling a fucking horrendous schedule and being in pain all the time. And she basically just shit on the business. And now, rumor has it, I don't know if she wants back in or the WWE wants her back in. But I'm like, dude, if I were there, I'd want her to apologize to everybody saying that shit. Have Undertaker issue some kind of punishment.
The
beating with a chair seems like so much work. It's a steel chair. It's very light.
Oh my god.
Or you could buy a kendo stick.
No, I'll take the steel chair. But yeah, what WWE, WWF, WCW, Raw, whatever fucking random 3-letter acronym they have for themselves, it's basically one life to live for teen boys and men that never were done being teen boys.
Yeah, I mean, look at what they do. It's staged. It's real contact stage theater.
It is.
That's
the
best way to describe it.
And I will never say that they are not athletes. 100%, they are athletes.
Oh, yeah. There's football players that will say that they're fucking tougher than anything they've ever come across. Rightfully so. Why? Because they're paid to get beat up with shit on a weekly basis.
Almost daily.
Their tolerance for shit is through the fucking roof.
If I ever went and watched a wrestling match, I would want to watch one of the amateur matches where they're not there for the money or anything like that. They're there for the show, and they're there for the fans at that point.
Oh, you're still talking professional wrestling just on the indie side,
I guess.
Yeah, because so there's amateur wrestling, which is actual Olympic wrestling, or like the actual sport wrestling, and then there's professional wrestling, and then you have WWE, which is the mecca. But then you have the other brands that are out there. I think there's 3 specifically that are still out there on a mainstream level. and then you have indie scene. That's all there is.
All right,
Back in the day, there used to be territories.
Okay, I do have one thing that I want to do, and it happens in Long Beach every year, I think. You should come with me.
What is it?
It is wrestling.
What is it?
Sumo wrestling. It is the
No.
It is the American, I think it's like the American Pacific like championships or something like that. I want to go to a sumo match. I think it would be amazing to go out there and watch it. Apparently they stink like hell. But
yeah.
I think I want to do this at some point, and you should join me.
Why sumo? I respect the sport 100%. And the sumo wrestlers are tough sons of bitches.
Yeah, no. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get my ass beat by like a 900-pound Asian dude. But
why the interest to go? I guess that's my question.
Okay, how many people do you know that have been to a WWF, WWE, or WCW thing?
I've been to one, and I know many people that have.
Okay, how many people do you know that have been to a sumo championship? There you go. That's why I want to go.
Oh.
No.
Have fun.
Seriously, you would not want to go to that.
I don't care to.
It is an experience that you're probably not going, like, a lot of people don't get. There's certain experiences that a lot of people don't really get the chance to have. Like, one of the experiences that I would love to do, and I've been looking for this person. If any of you guys are out there, let me know. I am looking for a blimp guy. All right, I have pilot friends. I have people that I know people that fly helicopters, planes, whatever. All right, how many people out there do you guys know that can fly or have been on a blimp?
See, all right,
I'm not talking about hot air balloons, because even that thing, I can go out and do that on like a weekend for like $200.
There's people like, I'm not going to single you out, but there's people like you.
Wow, thanks.
Like, I want to do things for, not just because of the sake of the experience, but because I know nobody else has done it. And there's people like someone that was aforementioned earlier, the bully, the trifecta that I was telling you about. He's the type of person that's all about the experience. All right, he loves just experiencing random shit. He likes to be in the moment.
Okay.
Right. I'm neither one, so I am happy to go through life on a daily schedule. I haven't been on a vacation in about 7 years, and when I say vacation,
you just got back from Tucson.
That's not a vacation, all right? And I wasn't even there long enough to call it a vacation.
I know.
Okay? I was there for literally, I think all in all, about 30 hours.
Hey, that's longer than some marriages, so I mean.
I haven't been on a real vacation in 7 years, and I'm perfectly okay with that. If I were to have any kind of experience, it would be to go to places, for the sake of history, but I'm also perfectly happy with it not happening. So I'm just not that type of person. You can call me boring for all live long day.
So I'm not going to call you boring, but I am going to bring up one other thing, because I know that we're coming up to your bedtime.
As long as it's not Mortal Kombat.
It is not. Okay, well, you brought it up, so I'm just going to add that to the number.
That was a warning. As long as it's not that.
Too late.
It doesn't count, you piece of shit.
You had to bring it up, so you know what? It's going up there.
I said to not bring it up.
To not bring up the thing you weren't supposed to bring up. Anyway.
Because we were talking about it yesterday. And I'm like, don't open up this fucking coffin because I buried it. Just let it be.
That's to you, Darren.
See those figures in the background? Did you paint that yourself? Are you talking about these? Those are amiibos. So I have all of the Legend of Zelda amiibos. I am saving them for Breath of the Wild 2 in case there is a purpose to them. If there is a purpose to them on Breath of the Wild 2, I will use them to my heart's content, and then I will sell them as a group.
So, question. After you use them, can someone else still use them?
Mm-hmm. It's just the way it works, at least for Breath of the Wild, I imagine they'll do the same thing with the sequel. Is it's all based off of the Nintendo Switch clock.
Okay.
So you can only use one amiibo once per day. All right, and that's in a real-time day based on the Nintendo Switch clock. As a glitch, what you can do is you use the amiibo, go to settings, then move the clock forward one day or backwards one day, whatever, and then you can use the amiibo again.
Yeah, we used to do that for Pokemon. So we can catch certain Pokemon on whatever the day was that it wasn't available. But no, what I was going to bring up is actually TwitchCon. Is that something that you'd want to go to?
Not really. I mean, I do this for fun.
Guys, I'm trying, okay? You see this. I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to bring you content, and we have Darren that hates everything and does not want to do anything.
I don't hate TwitchCon. I just don't care to go. Those are two very different things.
He is an affiliate on Twitch that does not want to meet his fans at TwitchCon.
You could have a museum. Mortal Kombat, Zelda, Castlevania, professional wrestling, music, all of it under one roof in 500 square feet or less. So that way I can cut down on traveling time, and you can have this whole facility walking distance from the place that I live, and I will still not care to go.
See, it's not just me, Darren. Like, the people have spoken. The people see this.
I'm not a Debbie Downer. Debbie Downer is going to look at everything in a negative light. I don't look at TwitchCon as a negative light. It's a cool. It looks like a cool thing.
So why wouldn't you want to go?
Cool thing. Because I don't care to.
I don't know, guys. that seems kind of downerish to me.
No, a Debbie Downer response would be, I don't want to go to TwitchCon because I hate TwitchCon.
Okay, TwitchCon Karen.
TwitchCon is stupid. TwitchCon is for losers or fucking whatever. That's Debbie Downer bullshit. All right, me, I don't care to go. It sounds like a cool thing. I've been to E3. I've been to Guitar Expos. I've been to it's a rock and roll museum. I can't remember the fucking name of it. I've been to them. It's cool. I've been to DC and saw the Lincoln Memorial, and I thought that was fucking awesome among all the things that I saw there. I thought it was cool. Could I have gone life without having done any of that? Yes.
I mean, yes, you can. You know, it's like, I don't have to go to Germany, but I'd like to at some point. Why not?
I don't care to. So if it happens to come across my way...
Well, this is the thing. TwitchCon is coming across your way.
But I don't care to go.
You don't care to go to Germany, but you just said that if it came across, that you would go. Well...
If I was employed by someone that said, I need you to go to Germany for a week to fucking get this shit straight, cool. I will do it. As opposed to, hey, Darren, you want to go to Germany? No, I'm good.
So you will only experience things like that if you are forced to do it by some kind of a higher power. Wow.
Maybe.
So your fun in life is purely based off of a higher being ordering you to do it. You really were in the military.
If I had a girlfriend, that would be 100% yes.
Okay, I'm the closest thing to a girlfriend you have right now. We're going to go to TwitchCon. You'll be my date.
No, you're not. My girlfriend would have hair.
I had hair, but my girlfriend didn't want your girlfriend to have hair. This is like, bye, have fun. But no, I just think it'd be awesome to be able to go down there and meet those people that I've like played games with and everything else. And
but they go do it because you, especially for you in your case, because you dedicate way more time than I do.
No, I don't.
And okay, neither here nor there, but you definitely do interact with a lot more streamers than I do, and some of them even, you know, being I guess higher end than you. I don't know would be the appropriate term. But you definitely interact with that more, and if that weren't true, you wouldn't have set up your Discord for that purpose. So I would 100% say, yes, you should go and meet them. That would be a cool thing.
So for me, the whole reason the Discord is set up and everything else like that is because I just have these ideas of things being bigger than what they are. For so long, I have always thought of things and planned things in such a small scale. So a good example of this was actually when I was heading up the improv team. It was a youth improv team for Simi Valley. It was called Stick. It was a Simi teen improv comedy. I had like 8 or 9 kids involved in it, and like 15 others that were like in the peripherals that could be brought in if needed, whatever. And I talked to someone that worked with Second City and had done things with the Groundlings and things like that, and he's just like, your whole community and organization would be so much bigger if you didn't plan it to be so small in the beginning.
Well, and she's somewhat correct. So the best things from a business perspective, and I guess this is the topic we'll end on because we got 5 minutes till, and I think they might be waiting on me for Loki. The best products always start micro and usually are there to solve a problem. All right. But that's not the only method. They always start small and compact and micro, and scalability usually determines how far that will go. All right. So in the case of your streaming, you started off the correct way, where it's like building your own little community and building your own little thing and just self-advertise as much as possible. And now you have all these other streamers that are probably doing the same or have been doing the same thing as you, just further down the road than you are. It makes perfect sense to go to something like TwitchCon, where you can network and glad hand and get to know them. For me, it's neither here nor there, because if I were to meet Ray X89, I wouldn't fucking Kevin. Played with him so many times on Call of Duty, and I think it was like maybe 2-3 months ago when I went to a party at Heather and Ray's place.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, and he comes up, "Hey man, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey, who the fuck are you?" I had no idea who he was, and but at the same time, it's like, okay, I play with you on a regular basis. That's cool. Got to meet you. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't dedicate myself as much to streaming to warrant any kind of need to network that way. If I were to have built when I was in web design, it made perfect sense for me to network with my buddy's business because he had hosting and email security. So instead of competing with him, I would just work off with him, and that's good business.
Mm-hmm.
Then work with another company on storage or maybe mobile app development. That's good business. Right? In your case, you have a small little community. When I say that, I use that word loosely because you have 800 fucking followers. But you have this community that you've built up, and it makes perfect sense for you to network with somebody out there that's probably got 1,000 followers, and the two of you can collab on something. Maybe you know something he doesn't, and vice versa. Maybe he has just spent more time than you on this, or have been doing this longer than you have, or maybe he knows something that you don't. It makes perfect sense for you when you dedicate that kind of time to it. And from there, the community that you built, because of the fact that you start small, which is exactly the way you're supposed to do it, you can scale that up, or you can find ways to make it scalable. So do I know from a business perspective how to scale up a Diablo 3 community? Fuck no.
You know, Darren.
That's not my realm.
You know, Darren. If you want to be the CFO of Bad Hatters Inc., you're going to have to come to these things at some point.
I can manage money from a distance.
So you know what? As your boss in Bad Hatters Inc., I will be the higher power saying that we are going to go to Germany.
Now I'll pull the COVID card.
It's your COVID.
Oh my god, why? But yeah, I haven't seen Loki or anything like that. Darren, Saturdays, what is your plan for Saturdays? Like Saturday evenings from 7 to like 9 o'clock?
I'm usually out. So by about 8 o'clock, I'm usually out.
Well, do me a favor and try to stop by Discord. I don't know if I brought it up with you or not, but there's a movie night now that goes on in the Discord, and it's going to be every Saturday night starting at 7. Last week we watched the first John Wick movie. This
That's-
Saturday. Go ahead.
That could not be a worse time for me.
Oh.
I'm usually out somewhere by 8.
The thing is
Between 8 and
like
9.
we were thinking about making it earlier, but then it's too early for the West Coast, and I can't start it any later because East Coast, it's too damn late. I know it's a Saturday night, and that people are up a little bit later, but I can't start something at 10 o'clock at night and expect someone on the East Coast to want to tune in at 1 in the morning.
The schedule that I have now is already night times are a little hard for me because I go out, and that's my opportunity that's my thing, is going to like Borderline and seeing friends or whatever.
So you don't want to
So-
make new friends, you just want to keep the friends you have.
No, I can make new friends at Borderline
TwitchCon.
or the places we go to. I don't care to go to TwitchCon. That's not going to happen. You're not going to win that fight.
Anyway,
Um,
and my whole thing for TwitchCon isn't even meeting and networking with other people. It's meeting people like, say, G-Man, who's in here talking to us, and that's one of those people that's been in here, or like Ray, or if Dauntless were to come out and meet those people that are streaming with us. Maybe Dom and Michael happen to come out. I mean, I know Michael doesn't live that far, but Dom could fly across and come out and do a visit, whatever it is, because it's that whole thing.
Right.
And these
And again, that's if I were to dedicate the time to be a Twitch streamer on an 8-hour a day full-time fucking basis, then and if I plan to make this a career, yes, it would behoove me to go to TwitchCon for that very reason I suggest you to go. Why? To link with and network other fucking streamers that are doing something better than I could, or provide something that I know that other people don't. Makes perfect fucking sense. I don't do that, and if I wind up, let's say I were to land a job tomorrow that pays me 6-figure, I'm probably not going to stream.
It would actually be a loss.
So it maybe Shrubs and Dubs would forever just be a memory, but I think you have the potential to make this a big thing. Why? Because you started small. You did it right. So it makes perfect sense for you to go to TwitchCon. It makes no sense for me when I do not care for this to be a career. Now, on the flip side, if it did turn into something, like my music, if it did turn into something, then it would still behoove me to go to one of those Twitch things. Why? Because I'm making significant money over here. I'm doing something right. So I need to fish in as much information as I can to improve the quality of whatever it is I'm doing. Why? Because any kind of stasis is always a bad thing. You get left in the dust real fast in the technological age.
Mm-hmm.
But that's me being invested in that time because of the fact that I, for whatever reason, was so successful. I'm not at that level. I may never be at that level. But it's neither here nor there.
It's just always so funny because you actually do spend so much time on making your stream look good and making like the stuff you set up, and like I wish that more people would actually be able to see the gameplay that you guys do, just because it is entertaining to watch you when you're not just
It is
being a bush.
I really haven't spent that much time with it, but I did spend some time to clean things up and make it look good. That doesn't really take me all that long, and that's usually at times when I have nothing else to do in the day. So anyway,
Wow.
I got a jet. It's been
Apparently,
fun.
I am a big enough streamer that I'm being hit with these "Do you want to be famous again?" So we'll just ban him real quick. Yeah, my ban list is getting kind of long. Oh, I think Darren's gone. I'm telling you guys, it's every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes, Darren freezes. I don't think it's actually just Discord. I think it's something to do with his Wi-Fi settings or something. Because that is 4 times, literally every 30 minutes, almost on the dot.
Discord.
No, seriously, Darren. Like, you might want to look into your internet settings or whatever the hell it is, because it is literally every 30 minutes. That is 4 times now. Why? I'm about to end. I love you, but why? Oh, Darren, we have to keep talking. I just got raided.
I can't. I gotta go.
Oh.
But Thanks, everyone.
Dick.
Sorry, Dad. They're waiting for me. They've been waiting for me.
Yeah, but this was set up so much longer before that.
I know. If your raid had been an hour earlier.
No, because that would have cut into Moridel's stream. And you don't want to,
I
like...
know.
Could you imagine being like, hey, can you end your stream an hour early so that I can benefit from it? God, you're such a dick. Moridel, thank you so much for the
That's why I said it
stream.
that way.
But with that being said, Moridel, pick where the raid is going.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That way we will not only take the 4 people that you brought in with you, but we will add several more. Moridel, name the person. Anyone you name, that's where we're going right now.
Mast, I am not on Wi-Fi, thank you. I am on Ethernet, but the Ethernet router is trash. I will agree with you on that.
You want me to go to Facefoot? Alright. I don't think Masked... Oh, there is fighting amongst the siblings. Darren, we can still see you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in then. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night, Darren. Yes, Madara does stream. That was the big reason for having the conversation with him about using the Discord as kind of his own type of thing, so that he could, just use that.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Olav? God, how do you pronounce that? Tauv? Jesus Christ, I'm just gonna butcher your name. But thank you so much for the follow. Eat toe. No, that's not right either. Yeah, that's the follower thing for that. Say it like you mean it. Itov. Itov. It is? It's eat toe? What the fuck's the V then? Well, anyway, guys, close. I'm just gonna butcher names. But yeah, Rot, is that who I should go and check out tonight? Is Facefoot? I have no problems dropping someone on him. He is an awesome dude. Ito. Yes. Shitting on names is my specialty. I am really good at it. Alright. Is it just straight Facefoot? Ito AV. Alright. We have a WoW player in here. I have done a shit ton of work in Alterac Valley. Especially in the Kata and Wrath days. But as long as it is spelled just straight Facefoot, let's go raid Facefoot, guys. Guessing he's playing WoW right, or not WoW, I'm sorry. I'm guessing he is playing D3 right now. Oh, he's not. He is playing WoW. Alright, well, let's go give him some views. Let's go help him out a little bit. Guys, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. On Saturday, please, guys, Saturday, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, we will be playing John Wick 2 on the Discord server for our movie night. If you guys don't have that, there is the Discord server. Come in, join us, make sure to select your roles for whatever games you happen to be playing. And with that, I will see you guys on Saturday. Kind of depends if I get home early enough. I might do a stream tomorrow or Friday also. Have a good night, guys. I'm out. Let's go see what Facefoot's up to.